Oh, it says I'm live. I know this lighting is not great. Um, Maybe if I turn around. Let's see. Because that's why it looks so gradient. And it's probably the internet. It's probably not that great either. But if I said, oh, sheesh, that lighting is not great. But at least it's clear. Huh? Like that. Well, that's a little better. What's up? What's up? Let me get my Bible. I got on these short shorts on the TV today. Oof. Sheesh. Let me grab my water. Sorry. I'm in Raleigh, which is just like 2.5 hours from where I live. And so Mike came here for work for the week, and he was like, "You should come over here." We ain't gonna tell me, and it's great. I'm glad to be here. We just keep laughing every time he complains about something. So his job paid for him to be here. Um, so they sent a crew over here to Raleigh, and everybody gets their own room or whatever. And so since he got his own room, he was like, "Come on over." Yeah, the hotel room looks cute. That's yeah. But every time he complains about something, I tell him, I'm like, "This is a two-star hotel." Like every single time. I'm like, "What do you think?" So the room is great. In the room, it looks just about like any other room, right? The design is fine. Um, the bathroom is clean, you know what I'm saying? But it's not what I'm used to. But it's got a tub. I was like, it's got a tub. That's fine. And he went, they're supposed to get breakfast or whatever. He went down to get breakfast. I guess he was here yesterday too. And he was like, it is not good food. I'm like, sir, well, it's got 4.5-star reviews, right? It's got 4.5-star reviews, which means that the stay here is good, right? It's updated, it's clean, it's a little bit more modern. But as much as he talks about how bougie I am, I'm always the one who chooses the hotels that we stay in. And so when I choose a hotel, it has different types of amenities, you know? And so I don't know what he was thinking was going to be here, but yesterday he was like, they don't even have this and they don't have this. I was like, sir, this is two-star. Like, relax. I'm like, that's about, the amenities. It's a very clean, the staff is very nice. Um, the first room we got was it stunk. He was here by himself. When I came here yesterday, I was like, "You stayed in this room?" I was like, "This room smells." I was like, "Yeah, smells like." Listen, the guy tried to give him one king bed or something. We slept in separate beds too last night. We just we just laughed. We've been married for 21 years, and so this is just yet another adventure that we're on this week. So I got to that room. I was like, "You been smoking in here?" I'm like, "This room smell like smoke." He was like, "I thought so." I'm like, "Yeah, this room smells like my locks are gonna smell like smoke." I'm like, "I don't like that." He's like, "I'll go downstairs." But when I got here, I went to the front desk and I was like, "Hey, I need a key to my husband's room." And everybody laughed. They were like, I was like, I'm like, "I ain't got time for whatever y'all laughing at." I'm like, "I'm tired, man. Just let me tell you my name." And so they gave him my name and they were like, "Oh, he just got here, whatever." So he just got back in the room, got back to the hotel or whatever from work. And so we come upstairs and I come to the room. I'm like, "Oh, I'm not staying here." I'm like, "You want me to call down there? Because this room smells." So it was like, yeah. So we went down and they put us up on a higher floor. And this room is so clean. The floor is clean, like the hallway is clean. And Mike's like, now I complained about this room yesterday. I was like, yeah, but you're just a guy traveling by yourself. They don't care about you. I'm like, but when they saw me and they knew I was your wife, they was thinking, my own wife would never stand for the room we gave him. Go ahead and change that man room as soon as he comes down here. Because they changed their room lickety split. I was like, because they know their wives wouldn't stay in the room that smelled like that. That's why. So it's been quite the adventure. Got food poisoning. That was exciting. Last night, yeah, super excited. It's so I'm so I'm having water today. Okay, having water today. Okay. What are we reading? Chapter 25 and 26. Yeah, got food poisoning. He slept. It's a good thing we didn't sleep in the same bed because he was like his back was killing him when I got here. He was moving like an old man, praying for him, praying for his back. I'm like, Lord, please, just heal him, let him get some good sleep. He fell asleep so quick. And while he was asleep, I was in the bathroom 100 times. I was like, this cannot be happening. And we were supposed to go back to that same restaurant because it's right up the street. We ain't doing. I'm like, he didn't get sick. I'm like, you can eat that, but I promise you, I'm giving up eating for a little bit. I'm giving up eating for a little bit. I slept well. Yeah, because it happened. We ate really early. I'm so glad we ate really early. We ate dinner really early. I got here at 4:30. He was here at 4:30. We went and got dinner by 5:30. He said he didn't sleep well the night before. So he was tired. So we went and got food. We were eating by 5:36. I was sick by 8. And I was done and in bed by like 9:30. So I slept and then I slept really well. Apparently he slept really well last night too, which was great because he didn't sleep well the night before. And his back felt so much better. So isn't it, Maritza? Please, do you know somebody in Hollywood? Because I need a movie or a show. I need something, right? This ain't even all of it. This ain't even this ain't even all of it. My day yesterday was very eventful, but you know, it's my life, so it's fine. And I do feel good. I'm tired. I'm not tired, just like my body is tired. You know what I'm saying? Like my body. I'm not tired. My body is tired. So um you need to hook a sister up. You saying you do know somebody in Hollywood? You need to be trying to pitch my life story. Girl, I need a movie deal, TV deal, series, something. All right, people who are brand new are like, we do not care. It's your girl, Pastor Courage Molina. Obviously, this YouTube channel is not like, we're a community here. I'm Pastor Courage of Bold Faith Community Church. Um, Yeah. Something something crazy. Um, all right, so chapter 25 of the NLT. Oh, the death of Abraham. Abraham married another wife whose name was Keturah. She gave birth to Zimran, Jokshan, Medan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shua. Jokshan was the father of Sheba and Dedan. Dedan's descendants were the Asherites, Ledushites, Lumites. Midian's sons were Epher, no, Ephah, Epher, Hanok, Abida, and Eldah. These were all descendants of Abraham through Keturah. Abraham gave everything he owned to his son Isaac, but before he died, he gave gifts to the sons of the concubines and sent them off to a land in the east away from Isaac. Abraham lived for 175 years and he died at a ripe old age, having lived a long and satisfying life. He breathed his last and joined his ancestors in death. His sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah near Marm in the field of Ephron, son of Zoar the Hittite. This was the field Abraham had purchased from the Hittites and where he had buried his wife Sarah. After Abram's death, God blessed his son Isaac, who settled near Bir Laroha in the Negev. This is the account of the family of Ishmael, the son of Abraham through Hagar, Sarah's Egyptian servant. Here is a list by their names and clans of Ishmael's descendants. The oldest was Nebaioth, followed by Kedar, Adbeel, Mibsam, Mishma, Duma, Masa, Hadad, Tema, Jetur, Napish, and Kedema. These 12 sons of Ishmael became the founders of 12 tribes named after them, listed according to the places they settled and camped. Ishmael lived for 137 years, then he breathed his last and joined his ancestors in death. Ishmael's descendants occupied the region from Havilah to Shur, which is east of Egypt in the direction of Ashur. There they lived in open hostility toward all their relatives. Don't you love that open hostility? I'm not saying that you want to be hostile, but I'm saying if we're gonna be hostile, let's do it out in the open. Let's not do this pretend like we cool, but we ain't really cool. You know, I don't like you, you don't like me. Let's be in open hostility. Let's not be then like we cool, but we not cool. You know what I mean? Um, when I used to read the Old Testament, and it gives you all of the descendants and all of those things, it's like, what is the purpose? What do I need to hear this for? But the truth is, it's not really, this book, Genesis, the book of Genesis, was written by Moses, right? And the audience that he had in mind, the original readers or listeners, really, the original listeners of this book of Genesis, this historical narrative, right, were the children of Israel who had come out of Egypt and who had been in Egypt for 400 years. And so letting them know about their heritage and who was related to who and what happened with this one, it's really important. And we see that it's even more important as they get further down, because a lot of the things that you had, especially in Old Testament times, a lot of the things that you had were based on your family. And so if you could not prove your family line, then you didn't have right to land that was given. You didn't have right to be a part of, the temple and be a part of the priestly things, the Levites. You had to have documentation. You had to have your family line. And if you didn't have that, then you could still be a part, hang out with them, but you didn't get any land and things like that unless you got married into somebody. So it doesn't seem as important to us present day, but it is so important for those who lived at that time of the writing of Genesis, and for us to understand the family lines and how God used different family lines to accomplish his purpose. All right, so verse 19, this is the account of the family of Isaac, the son of Abraham. When Isaac was 40 years old, he married Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel, the Aramean from Padan Aram, and the sister of Laban the Aramean. Isaac pleaded with the Lord on behalf of his wife because she was unable to have children. The Lord answered Isaac's prayer, and Rebekah became pregnant with twins. But the two children struggled with each other in her womb, so she went to ask the Lord about it. "Why is this happening to me?" she asked. And the Lord told her, "The sons in your womb will become two nations. From the very beginning, the two nations will be rivals. One nation will be stronger than the other, and your older son will serve your younger son." And when the time came to give birth, Rebekah discovered that she did indeed have twins. The first one was red at birth and covered with thick hair like a fur, so they named him Esau. Then the other twin was born with his hand grasping Esau's heel, so they named him Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when the twins were born. As the boys grew up, Esau became a skillful hunter. He was an outdoorsman, but Jacob had a quiet temperament, preferring to stay at home. Isaac loved Esau because he enjoyed eating the wild game Esau brought home, but Rebekah loved Jacob. One day, when Jacob was cooking some stew, Esau arrived home from the wilderness, exhausted and hungry. Esau said to Jacob, "I'm starved. Give me some of that red stew." This is how Esau got his other name, Edom, which means red. "All right," Jacob replied, "but trade me your right as the firstborn son." "Look, I'm dying of starvation," said Esau. "What good is my birthright to me now?" But Jacob said, "First you must swear that your birthright is mine." So Esau swore an oath, thereby selling all his rights as the firstborn to his brother Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau some bread and lentil stew. Esau ate the meal, then got up and left. He showed contempt for his rights as the firstborn. Not only does the firstborn have rights, but the firstborn also has responsibilities that comes with those rights. So maybe it's that heaviness. But talking about catastrophizing something, I'm dying of starvation. You are not dying of starvation. We know that you could go for days and days without eating. You are not dying of starvation. But he says he's dying of starvation, and he essentially sells his birthright for a bowl of beans. I wonder what things we've given up in exasperation. I wonder what things we are giving up in our seasons of frustration. How many things we're willing to trade and just give away. That's so good. How many things we're willing to trade and give away because of a season we're in, because we are catastrophizing, you know, a temporary situation, a temporary feeling, right? I wonder. Chapter 26. A severe famine now struck the land, as had happened before in Abraham's time. So Isaac moved to Gerar, where Abimelech, king of the Philistines, lived. The Lord appeared to Isaac and said, "Do not go down to Egypt, but do as I tell you. Live here as a foreigner in this land, and I will be with you and bless you. I hereby confirm that I will give all these lands to you and your descendants, just as I solemnly promised Abraham your father. I will cause your descendants to become as numerous as the stars of the sky, and I will give them all these lands. And through your descendants, all the nations of the earth will be blessed. I will do this because Abraham listened to me and obeyed all my requirements, commands, decrees, and instructions." So Isaac stayed in Gerar. When the men who lived there asked Isaac about his wife, Rebecca, he said, "She is my sister." Does that sound familiar? He said, "She is my sister." Who he sound like? His daddy. When the men who lived there asked Isaac about his wife, Rebecca, he said, "She is my sister." And like his dad, right? Like the same reason. He was afraid to say, "She is my wife." He thought, "They will kill me to get her because she is so beautiful." But sometime later, Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked out his window and saw Isaac caressing Rebekah. Immediately, Abimelech called for Isaac and exclaimed, "She is obviously your wife. Why did you say she is my sister?" "Because I was afraid someone would kill me to get her from me," Isaac replied. "How could you do this to us?" Abimelech exclaimed. "One of my people might easily have taken your wife and slept with her, and you would have made us guilty of great sin." Then Abimelech issued a public proclamation: "Anyone who touches this man or his wife will be put to death." Now, if I wasn't reading this to you, I would go back to see, like, what was the name of the man who said that same thing to his dad? Was his name Abimelech, or was not his name? Because I obviously don't have it memorized, but I would go back and check to see that, because I think it is very interesting that they told the same lie for the same reason after receiving the same promise and instruction from God. So just like God told Abraham, "I've come into this covenant with you. I'm going to make you the father of many nations. I'm sending you to this land." He also tells Isaac the same thing. "Hey, I'm going to make you the father of many nations, just like I promised your dad. I'm sending you to this land. I want you to go to this place." And then when they get to the place that God has told them to go, while the promise that God has made them has not been fulfilled, because they don't have they got these kids, but he ain't, you know what I'm saying? He's like, "Ooh, let me lie." So it's interesting, at the very least. At the very least, it's interesting, right? That they would fear where God sent them. But we do that too, right? God sends us to a place. Um, God gives us an assignment, some encouragement. He makes a promise. He drops a vision in our heart and in our mind. And then when it's time to execute, or we get to the space that he's called us to, or we get into a situation that seems a little bit difficult, or we're not sure how it's going to turn out, we behave like God never made a promise, or like God makes promises that he doesn't keep, you know? Verse 12, when Isaac planted his crops that year, he harvested 100 times more grain than he planted, for the Lord blessed him. He became a very rich man, and his wealth continued to grow. He acquired so many flocks of sheep and goats, herds of cattle, and servants that the Philistines became jealous of him. So the Philistines filled up all of Isaac's wells with dirt. They were the wells that had been dug by the servants of his father Abraham. Finally, Abimelech, doesn't that sound familiar? Argument about a well. Just saying. Finally, Abimelech ordered Isaac to leave the country. Go somewhere else, he said, for you have become too powerful for us. So Isaac moved away to the Gerar Valley, where he set up their tents and settled down. He reopened the wells his father had dug, which the Philistines had filled in after Abraham's death. Isaac also restored the names Abraham had given them. Isaac's servants also dug in the Gerar Valley and discovered a well of fresh water. But then the shepherds from Gerar came and claimed the spring. This is our water, they said, and they argued over it with Isaac's herdsmen. So Isaac named the well Esek, which means argument. Isaac's men then dug another well, but again, there was a dispute over it. So Isaac named it Sitnah, which means hostility. Abandoning that one, Isaac moved on and dug another well. This time there was no dispute over it, so Isaac named the place Rehoboth, which means open space. For he said, at last, the Lord has created enough space for us to prosper in this land. From there, Isaac moved to Beersheba, where the Lord appeared to him on the night of his arrival. I am the God of your father Abraham, he said. Do not be afraid, for I am with you, and I will bless you. I will multiply your descendants, and they will become a great nation. I will do this because of my promise to Abraham, my servant. Then Isaac built an altar there and worshiped the Lord. He set up camp at that place, and his servants dug another well. Just real quick, I just thought about this. We often talk, excuse me, about generational curses. But this is a generational blessing. Excuse me. This is a generational blessing. That is being passed down. It's a generational blessing that's being passed down to Isaac because of who his dad is, right? Because of the life that his dad lived, because of the faith that his dad had, because of his dad's relationship with God. Isaac was born into a generational blessing. What does that mean? Why do I think like that's such a thing? Because I think no matter what the generational curses were that came before, they can stop with us. They can stop with you because of your relationship and your faith and your interaction and your obedience with God. And you could be the one to bring in generational blessings, a promise that is made to you for every generation that comes after you. I love that. It's a reminder that it doesn't matter where you come from. Doesn't matter what was spoken over your life before you got on the scene. You can get into a relationship with God that would change not only your life, but the lives of everyone that's to come after you, Verse 26. One day, King Abimelech came from Gerar with his advisor, Auzeth, and also Phicol, his army commander. Yeah, I really feel like it's the same Abimelech, right? I could be wrong, but I feel like it is. I would go back and check if I wasn't reading with y'all. Why have you come here? Isaac asked. You obviously hate me since you kicked me off your land. They replied, we can plainly see that the Lord is with you. So we want to enter into a sworn treaty with you. Oh, this sounds so familiar, right? Let's make a covenant. Swear that you will not harm us, just as we have never troubled you. We have always treated you well, and we sent you away from us in peace. And now look how the Lord has blessed you. So Isaac prepared a covenant feast to celebrate the treaty, and they ate and drank together. Early the next morning, they each took a solemn oath not to interfere with each other. Then Isaac sent them home again, and they left him in peace. That very day, Isaac's servant came and told him about a new well they had dug. We found water. They exclaimed, We found water, they exclaimed. So Isaac named the well Sheba, which means oath. And to this day, the town that grew up there is called Beersheba, which means well of the oath. At the age of 40, Esau married two Hittite wives, Judith, the daughter of Berai, and Basemath, the daughter of Elon. But Esau's wives made life miserable for Isaac and Rebekah. Huh, interesting. So Isaac and Rebekah was like, we tired of these kids. I can relate to that. These kids are driving us crazy. God bless. There was something that I wanted to say. Oh, where he says, verse 33. So Isaac named the well Sheba, which means oath. And to this day, the town that grew up there is called Beersheba. And to this day, the town, I used to read that and I would be like, to this day, like right now, the day that I'm in, and I'm like, how can they know that? How can this, you know what I'm saying? Like I just didn't get it. But the more I learned about the Bible and not just learning from the Bible, the more I learned about the Bible and I started to bring to my mind the thoughts, the fact that this was written by somebody at a certain time. And so when he's saying to this day, he doesn't mean to this day that I'm reading it. He means to this day that he's writing it. Small thing, but just like a big thing about how important context is. Context is just super important. I hope that you have enjoyed this Bible reading. This Bible reading is not at all intended to replace your Bible study. It could be a portion of your Bible study, like how do you study the Bible or what are you studying? Well, I'm just going to read every day along with Pastor Courage and Bold Faith Community Church. And then I'm going to use the Bold method to go back and choose a verse that resonated with me so I could break it down and get instruction for the day. That means reading it in a different version. It means looking at any Bible references, not Bible references. What is it? Cross references, looking at any cross references. It may include Bible references if you need them, but looking at any cross references to get a better understanding of what is happening in the verse or the section of the verse that you choose. Today, I don't even know what today is, Wednesday. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow for day 21 of this Bible reading. I hope this has blessed you. I dropped a link for Courageous Discipleship membership, CDM, Courageous Disciples membership, CDM. I dropped a link for CDM there. In the event that you decide you want to join a community of women who are let me slow down. In the event that you want to contribute and be a part of a community of women who are committed to studying their Bible, building the habit of daily Bible study with support. No, there's no CDM training. I know you get super excited. It's December. There's no training in the month of December. I might do like some type of pop-up. Whenever I do a pop-up, I might do some type of pop-up. But it's December, and so I don't do training in December. I think I might, but I don't do training in December. You know what I'm saying? So I try to keep my schedule very light in December. I do a couple daily things, but I'm trying to keep it light because it's my birthday month. It's my birthday. And it's my birthday month. It's my birthday. It's my birthday month. I'm killing your excitement. I'm so sorry. It's December. For the record, it says it on the sales page, and there's no event scheduled in the group either because I don't do training in December. So people are like, why should I sign up? Well, because there are other trainings that have already been in there and you can use this month to get caught up. This month is a great month for you guys to reflect. It's a great month for you to go back through all of the notes if you can find them. If you can find the notes from what you studied this year and just use this month. Yeah. Me on Zoom. Um, just use this month to like go back through all of the notes and the journals that you had from this year as it relates to whatever it was that you studied for Bible this month, So, all right. I love you guys. I'm definitely going back to sleep. Even though I slept really well, like my body is just tired. You know what I'm saying? My body's like, girl, go lay down. So I'm gonna go lay down. Probably not gonna sleep. I'm probably just gonna get back to my own Bible study, which is the book of Acts right now. And it's very, very good. It's exactly what I need. And I got all my little highlighters. I've been highlighting some things since I just got to the highlighting portion. Y'all want to study Acts and discipleship next month? Would y'all like to study Acts? I could give y'all like a verse a week. If you're in courageous discipleship, then you'll be studying courageous discipleship. But for the rest of you who are in the membership and not in the discipleship program, we will be studying Acts. Well, I'll be studying Acts, and I'm opening it up to see if anybody wants to study with me. If you guys would be interested in studying with me, and if you are interested in studying with me, then I'll probably drop like a verse a week and we'll like double down on that. And this can be the place where I share all the extra stuff because I'm going to be preaching from Acts in January, but I can only, preach one message every Saturday. Like I only got so much time. I can only preach one message on Saturday. And when I study, obviously I have so much more to say than just that small little verse that I used when I preach or whatever. So this will be a good spot. CDM will be a good spot for us to dive into the book of Acts. I chose the book of Acts because as a pastor and church planter, there are so many options out there for like how you can build a church and all these things. But I just want to see what the original church looks like. And I never really studied Acts for myself. So I just want to see what the original church looks like. And then I can kind of go from there. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. Love y'all. Later. Y'all pray for me for my rest and restoration. I actually have to leave the hotel though to go and get like a medicine ball tea. So I gotta actually get up. That's insane. But y'all pray for me anyway. All right. Love y'all. Later. Oh, I can see you, Natasha, asking what Bible this is. There's a link for it in CDM. It's not an affiliate link. I wish it was. It's the Bible for coloring and creative journaling. There's a link for it in CDM. And first of all, it's a single column Bible, which is great, right? For highlighting, it's single column. And it has all these things on the side. And I love to color and I love for things to be beautiful. And so it just lends itself very well to the color coding. I use color pencils for this. What else have I used? I also use the gel highlighters, Bible highlighters also. I switched over to those when I got back here to this section. And I have I'm using a very specific color coding thing for this one. I always want to see what God is saying. I want to see what he's saying about believers. This pink here is for relationships. Y'all know we're preparing for the Bible, the Wives Study Bible. So we're preparing for that. I need to get my notes together. You know what I'm saying? However long that takes. And then promises of God. So this is my highlighter for this. This is my Bible coding, color coding system. It's very simple. It's not nothing fancy. It's just on an index card. This is my system for this Bible. And I use a different system for, the King, for the have a leadership Bible. I use a different color coding system for the leadership Bible. I'm not saying that your color coding system's got to change, but I'm working on something long term, a very long term plan, right? Having my own study Bible, which is a very long term plan. And I don't mean like, oh, I think it's going to take me 100 years to do it. I'm just saying it's not something I'm going to get done in like 30 days. Do you know what I mean? And so it needs its own Bible. So it's got 2 Bibles right now that I'm using to kind of help me get started. So the notes and things that I have, and even the limited highlighting is, for that purpose. The extra writing on the side is so that I can write out things that either come from the Bible or that I think of while I'm studying that section as it relates to marriage and wives and things like that. So, yeah, it's a this is this. I don't know if this is the system that other people use. If other people are like, oh, I want to have my, I want to create a Bible for wives, but I want to create a Bible for wives, a study Bible for wives. So we'll see how it goes. All right. Well, I love you guys. And I'll see y'all tomorrow for real this time. For real, I'm going for real. Oh, like the video. If you like this video, like the video. Be sure to share, like, share, comment. Okay, thanks.